The Chaser Decides is rated M for a mature audience. It contains nudity and coarse language.
Good evening and welcome to The Chaser Decides, live from the National Tally Room here in Canberra, just days away now from what promises to be one of the most closely fought battles for votes in the history of this country.
But enough about Australian Idol, because this Saturday Australia goes to the polls faced with a very clear choice. It's the choice between pork or dork. You've got the pork barrelling of the Howard government versus the dorkiness of the Rudd alternative, and I think it's a fascinating contest, isn't it?
It is, and I notice in this final week of campaigning, both leaders have played it extremely safe, opting to sell their message on soft, light entertainment programs. Here's Rudd on the Kerri-Anne Kennerley program yesterday morning, and Howard and Costello opted for an even lighter program, talking to Anna Corrin on Today Tonight.
Did you know that was apparently the first time that Costello and Howard had ever done a TV interview together? Unless, of course, you count Jerry Springer, obviously, going back 2 or 3 years, I think it might have been.
Exactly. Well, let's have a look at the state of play at this point, shall we? And Julian, can we have a look at the seats? What have we got? Have we got any figures? Julian, figures in?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'll just get rid of that. I was just watching a podcast.
Yes, well...
Yes, it's interesting, actually. If we bring up the tally board, now, obviously, these are very early figures because the polls haven't actually opened yet, but if this trend of zero continues, then after the election, the parliament's going to look like this.
Gee whiz, so Kevin Rudd, obviously a lot to do there. Well, what does he have to do to win government?
Well, if we look at the chamber here, this is the Labor front bench as it currently stands. This is what happens if we factor in Kevin Rudd's ego, and this is what it'll look like if he actually wins.
Gee whiz,
It's difficult to picture Rudd's head in the chamber, isn't it, without recalling that now famous image back from the 90s of him with the earwax and so forth.
Look, in Kevin's defence, I mean, you're bound to get a bit peckish during question time. You're trapped in there for hours without a meal break.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be a bit more dignified way to eat it, though, wouldn't you? So we paid a visit to Kevin Rudd to help him with his problem.
Hello, Kevin. After a hard day campaigning, you've earned yourself a treat, my friend. Your favourite food, a bit of wax.
You know, back in the 90s, did these things exist?
Let's talk more eating, Kevin.
Is it biodegradable?
Try it and see. It should be. This is your earwax.
Mate, look after yourself. It's been an interesting campaign.
Come on, Kevin, get into it. I'll tell everyone you're biting your lip, I promise. Come on, Kev, don't be ashamed of the wax.
See you guys.
It's the only idea you've come up with that wasn't done by John Howard first. Look, do you want to eat out instead?
You can say what you like about him, but the earwax issue certainly hasn't dented his popularity, has it? We've seen him mobbed by school kids time and time again throughout the campaign. Treated like a rock star he's been, and not to be outshone, Howard's also met some big fans on the hustings. Look at him there, lapping up the attention. He loves it.
Well, of course, Rudd's popularity didn't start overnight. You know, it didn't happen overnight. It started, of course, on the Sunrise program. A lot of commentators point to that. There's weekly appearances has been, I think, the
Channel 7
key moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's when the makeover began. You know, look at him. He's a born television performer. He had a wonderful chemistry with Kochie, from one nerdy dork to another. It was the making of him.
Yeah, well, if it worked so well for Rudd, though, couldn't it help other politicians who are also in need of an instant boost in the polls?
Maybe all those floundering pollies need is a dose of melancholy.
Yeah, I have. I'm just trying to think of what
Yeah, Malcolm. If anything can make you popular, Malcolm, this is it. You'll be Prime Minister in no time.
Welcome to Brekkie Central, Malcolm. Well, all right, well, hello. You know something, I've never known them to be as one-dimensional as this. So
Come on, more animated than Philip Ruddock. You talk to him. Talk to them.
Point of going on Sunrise is to be one-dimensional. Worked for Rudd.
Anyway, that was Malcolm Turnbull. We'll be back with Peter Garrett soon. Welcome. We made Kevin Rudd popular. We can even make you popular.
When you crack jokes to the Sunrise guys, mate, they take a lot better than Steve Price. What do you say, Fair?
This is the Sunrise prop. This is the two characters. This is someone making a joke. Good on you, mate.
Yeah, you know jokes.
Yeah, come on, it's just a short jocular conversation.
Of course, while we're talking about Rudd, I see he was up to his usual populist tricks on the weekend, appearing on the Rove program.
Yes, well, it's something of a tradition now, isn't it? So I think at the last election, Mark Latham went on Rove, not as a guest. He was just there to pioneer the segment Latham Loses It. now taken over by Hughesy. But look, no, I thought Rudd did pretty well on Rove on the whole.
Not without a lot of help, thank you very much. I mean, he didn't just cruise through that interview all on his own, you know. God, no, he had a little earpiece inside his ear the whole time.
Really?
And he was taking detailed instructions from yours truly.
You make up your mind whether you want that or not.
All right,
And,
Kevin, he's probably going to ask about the earwax soon, so you've got to pretend you have a sense of humour about it, all right? If you can't actually laugh, I just want you to open your mouth and pretend to laugh.
It works.
So does it worry you when shows like us make jokes about people like you going, whoa, here's that old earwax footage again?
Right, open it now, good, hold it wider, wider. No, yes, no, pointing doesn't work, put it down. Now, you remember, you find this very funny, open your mouth. OK, that's long enough. That's long enough. No, you look like a dick.
Kevin Rudd, Leader of the Opposition and possible future Prime Minister, who would you turn gay for?
Oh, God, I didn't know that they'd find out you were gay. Just get out of there. Get the fuck out of there, you gay fool. Quickly. Actually, no, it would look bad. Sit down. Remember that comedy script we wrote? The comedy script, pull it out.
Getting some helpful
OK, yes. Thank God we thought of the funniest person you could turn gay for.
First one we had was Dame Edna.
That's funny.
Nice.
Oh, God, the audience didn't laugh.
Outrageously
They mustn't have heard of Dame Edna. Just keep going.
The country wasn't ready for a Prime Minister.
No, you're worse than David Brent.
So,
Kevin Rudd, here we go. Who is it, though? Who have you chosen? Who would you turn gay for?
Don't say John Howard.
there's only one person for me.
Don't say Howard.
It's my wife, Therese.
Yes! Yes, you fooled him into thinking you're straight.
Is she a man?
That was a joke, so open your mouth. Oh, God, you're a loser. You can be a stubborn bastard to advise sometimes.
I can. Anyway, let's move on to some of the seats, shall we? The individual seats. And Julian, have we got a line there? Can we have a look at that?
Absolutely, yeah. Now, this is Mark Vale's seat, of course, the
Yes.
Deputy Prime Minister, and it's seen a lot of changes in recent years. This is how it looked as recently as 2001, but following the Regional Partnerships Program, it now looks more like this.
Gee whiz, so is it a safe seat?
Well, given the federal government's opened 400 new police youth clubs in the area, you'd think it'd be safe, Craig,
yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
If there's one thing this election campaign has taught us...
Don't photograph your penis and send it to your enemies.
well, there's two things, obviously, but, I mean, look, the penis thing is true. It's also become clear to us, though, that celebrity candidates don't work.
God, no. 2 words for you. Nicole Corn.
Oh,
This is the ALP glamour girl in Boothby, a seat in South Australia. She's pretty much been dead in the water since her debut press conference.
Andrew Southcott has held the position for such a long time, and he probably would feel that he knows a lot about everything that's going on around here, whereas I really don't have a good grasp yet.
Typical New Labour. Can't tell the difference between a socialite and a socialist.
Oh, well, of course, when you see people like Nicole Corns run for office, you almost wonder whether the average Joe could do a much better job.
Yeah, indeed. To find out how the average punter would go on the hustings, we decided to turn some unsuspecting voters into instant politicians. We secretly took their names, got a covert photograph of them, and plastered their local area with personalised campaign material. And it turns out, ordinary voters make much more appealing candidates.
I hear you're running for the local seat. Congratulations.
Not really.
There for you.
Oh my God.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Congratulations, mate. You got my vote, buddy.
We're those of you now.
Do you think you can win the election on Saturday?
How do you transport, Mr. McDeasy? What are you doing about computers in every school, Mr. McDeasy?
Will any amendments be made to work choices? Sorry, no comment.
Who will you support in the leadership ballot?
I'm not actually part of the thing.
What are you going to do about interest rates, sir?
Nothing.
Will you reduce taxes?
Yes.
How much will you reduce them by?
At least 5%.
What's the current tax rate? Why are you polling so badly?
Because I don't know what I'm doing.
Would you make Alexander Downer your foreign minister?
Nah.
Why not?
Well, what for?
Do you think this is a grubby campaign?
People want to know.
What will it take to end the grubby politics, Mr. Kumandakas?
You're denying everything.
Nah.
Why are you evading questions, Mr. Aberjack?
Why not?
Yeah, right.
I want to go home.
What do you think about the allegations about your private life?
Enough now.
Do you support Mr. Howard in the leadership?
Legalisation of drugs.
Will you be challenging for the leadership?
Leave me alone.
I always wanted to commentate cricket, but they told me I made it sound far too exciting.
Great Liberal, and then John Howard's just going to leave it with Kim Beazley, isn't it?
Welcome back to the Tally Room, and it's been a big campaign for political extras, with the leaders flanked at every press conference by numerous nameless lackeys. Chris, do you think this strategy has been working for the leaders?
Well, look, I think on the whole, these political extras, as you call them, have shown that they can nod enthusiastically at all times. I think Howard, in particular, has been very canny with his choice of nodders, always making himself look good by only choosing people who are balder than he is.
Yeah, well, look, that's copybook Howard. I mean, but there is one bald man, of course, who does not work in the background, and that's Peter Garrett, who's so tall he can never fit into frame.
Yeah, God, he looks like a freak there, doesn't he? It's ridiculous.
He does, but although still not quite as odd as the nodder behind Democrats leader Lynn Allison here. Gee, they can't even get a person willing to stand behind Lynn.
Well, for an update now on the background extras at Kevin Rudd's latest press conference, let's cross live to Chas Licciardello in Melbourne.
Hey, as you can see, it's wear the same colour vest as your hair day at the Labor Party. But what's really bothering Julia Gillard is she's obsessed with the whole earwax thing. Look at that. She can't stop looking inside Kevin Rudd's ear, no matter what you do. Julia, hey. Hey!
And Chas, can you go around and tell us exactly what it is that Julie is looking at there?
Yeah, okay, hang on, I'll just get a better look.
in mind, including the one which is now needed.
Yeah, I
South
think it
Australia.
might be. Ow!
Likely to be
God!
Again,
Jesus!
Ooh, we seem to have lost Chas there. We might have to come
Craig,
back to him a little bit
if we've got a sec, I wouldn't mind having a look at the Coalition and how they're tracking, because we've seen a lot of big spending from the Coalition this campaign, and I get a sense they're not getting any traction at all. In fact, if we have a look at the latest Nielsen poll that came out this week, Jules, have you got that?
Oh, sorry, I was just updating my Facebook, actually.
Oh, for God's sake,
Can we focus on the election,
Hey,
please?
this is work-related, thank you. I mean, it's only thanks to Facebook that I know that Tony Abbott's current status is making an embarrassing gaffe.
It's been that the whole election.
Yeah, well, but no, look, Facebook is very useful. Look, Peter Garrett right now is having a short and jocular conversation, and according to this, Senator Bill Heffernan's status is definitely not gay.
Facebook is an absolute joke. I think I saw that John Howard and Peter Costello are down as Facebook friends, so it doesn't mean much, does it?
Yeah, well, it's funny you raise Costello because the leadership tension in the Libs has been having a big impact in the chamber. If we have a look at it, this is how the House of Reps looks at the moment. But here's how it looked in a dream that Peter Costello had last night.
Yeah, well, I think those tensions, as you say, are one of the reasons the Libs have been tracking badly all campaign. Plus, to be blunt about it, they've made some very odd policy decisions.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to get over this $500,000 that Howard threw at these orangutans in Indonesia just because this young, sick boy asked him to.
I know, it's like sick, cute kids are holding a gun to Howard's head demanding whatever the hell they want.
He's got to learn to be firm. He's got to say, enough sick boys. You know, I mean, if he gives every sick boy his wish, then the next thing you know, every sick boy in the country is doing it.
Let's have that $1 billion for the Gibbons of Brunei, Prime Minister. How about $400,000 for the ocelots of Andhra Pradesh? Please, I'm really sick. How about $600,000 for the baboons of Swaziland? Oh, jeez! I missed! I'm even sicker now! Please, save the baboons!
Welcome back to the heartbeat of democracy. And one of the real talking points of this election has been the quality of the super fast voiceovers at the end of the campaign ads. And Jules, that's where this race could be won or lost.
Absolutely. Rudd keeps promising fast broadband, but it's in the fast voiceovers that he's really delivered. Check out the authorisation here on this latest ad.
Authorised Tim Gartrell for the ALP Canberra.
That is one of the best in the business, but not to be outdone, the Liberals really have impressed with their fast work as well.
Authorised Bill Upman, Liberal Party Canberra.
And so, as superfast voiceovers emerge as one of the key battlegrounds of the election, we're joined now to discuss the issue by Labor's very fast voiceover artist, John McConnell in Melbourne.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
And in Canberra, the Liberal quick man, Ted Brickman.
I prefer it if you call me T. Rickman, Canberra.
John McConnell, if I could start with you. Labor's been accused this campaign of simply copying the very fast reading style of the Liberal Party. Is there any truth in that?
That's a pathetic and scurrilous lie, and you know it. Labor's reads are up to 10% faster than Liberals, and if elected, we promise to make them even faster.
Ted Rickman, your response?
I've been speaking this fast since I first learned to talk. My first words were mummy and papa, and I could say them both in under 0.02 seconds.
Ted, you and I both.
Sorry, just let me finish.
You and I both know very well.
I just wanted to finish what I'm saying.
Ted Rickman, very quickly, because I want to move on to font size.
Thank you, Craig. I'll be as quick as I can.
Reduce them very quick.
I think that working families in Australia know that when it comes to talking quickly, it was me who wrote the book. In fact, the book's also available as a talking book, available in 3 different speeds: fast, very fast, and chipmunk.
Gentlemen, we'll have to leave it there. I'm afraid we're out of time.
We should have spoken more quickly so we could fit more in.
Ted Rickman, a final comment?
T. Rickman, Canberra.
Hello, I'm Labor.
And I'm Liberal, and I'm committed to offering tax cuts.
Me too.
And giving benefits to pensioners.
Yeah, me too.
And having a gaff-prone environment minister.
Yep, same again.
Well, I like eating babies' heads.
Happy to give it a try.
And I hate people who say me too.
Yeah, me too. That really shits me.
I like wearing suits.
Yeah, me too. Just a sec. Happy to change my name to Howard too, if that'll help.
iDemocracy, giving voters more choice than ever. Yes, thanks to our unique cardboard thought bubble technology, we're now able to get a much better sense of what the candidates are thinking these days.
Yeah, let's take a look, shall we? Here's Kevin Andrews in Chinatown, the Immigration Minister, out on the hustings.
Yes, very good. Brendan Nelson too, I see, with the Liberal polls as they are. He happens to be regretting his change of party.
And Labor's defence spokesman was worried this week when Latham returned to the headlines, of course, old mate of his.
Oh, God. He's as violent as Latham as well.
Sorry. And kicking a man who's down, that's classic Latham.
And then finally, I would have thought Malcolm Turnbull would be more worried about his seat, but he's still looking to the future, obviously.
Oh, this way, okay. You got my hat? Good.
Just not
Behind him there.
Okay, yeah. Hello. Right. Good. So, okay. What is that? What do you got there? Costello?
Don't blame me, you're the one thinking it. Don't shoot the messenger.
I bet you couldn't do that to Peter Garrett. He's too tall for you. You'd need a gripper.
Good, Malcolm, very good. But, of course, Wentworth is shaping up to be one of the most hotly contested seats of the whole election. Have we got Wentworth there?
Well, I've been attacked on Facebook by a friggin' vampire.
That's not a vampire. That's Kevin Andrews giving a press conference.
Oh, well, that's even worse.
Yeah. Well, look, we might try and come back to Wentworth a bit when the computer's back in order. But I don't know if you saw, just on a side point, on election night, Channel 7 apparently is trying to turn the coverage on its head a bit this year.
Yes, they're promising this boring-free election night. I mean, they're taking a more fun, light-hearted approach to the whole thing, using Mel and Koshy. I think it looks a hoot.
It looks fabulous, doesn't it? And a few more details about the 7 coverage have come to light this week in the network's latest promo.
Election night on 7 just got even more exciting as our political experts Jennifer Hawkins and Sonia Kruger joined the cast of Home and Away to bring you seat-by-seat analysis as the votes come in, with Todd McKenney and Helen Ritchie dancing live in Eden Monaro, and all the latest swings and trends from the only man with his finger on the pulse.
There is no Costello!
And if that's not lightweight enough, we've also got Anna. Journalist-free coverage, live and exclusive on 7. And be sure to pick up your free glasses in this Friday's paper to see Daryl Summers play the drums live in the tally room in full 3D vision.
Welcome back. And Chris, we were talking earlier about Howard's inability to cut through in this campaign. It's been a big problem.
Yes, definitely, your campaign. I think you only need to look at the response last week to his official campaign launch. It's clear that people are tired of him.
Yeah, and I think that his morning walk, for instance, once such a symbol of his energy, has become a bit ridiculous too. I mean, have a look at the footage here. Look, every morning there's a new fringe group out there accosting him. All manner of bizarre characters.
Honestly, where do these people get the idea that it's OK to hassle the Prime Minister on his morning walk?
Well, I think we know who to blame for that.
You go! Go on, give me a hug. Interest rates, you know this, rabbit. All we need is nuclear power and it can go back in time.
True, I think we all feel some guilt for turning his morning walk into a sideshow, especially me. So I thought it was only fair that we made it up to the Prime Minister by working for him for once, rather than against him.
Okay, boys, you've come to help. Notice you get a lot of idiots on the walks in the morning. We feel a bit guilty about that. Here to help make sure we keep the riffraff away. Leave the big ones to me, OK?
Good morning. Back, please. Come on. Just a nice, safe distance. Thanks, folks.
G'day, Johnny. Before we go, give him a round of applause.
Give him a round of applause.
Morning.
G'day there.
Bit of a good on you, Johnny, please. That's it. Yeah, that's it, Johnny. No, mate, excuse me.
come
No,
on.
mate. You're going the other way, I think, mate. Come on.
I was saying.
Is that a Liberal dog? Liberal dog? Yeah, good. That's cool. No problem. I want to keep the Howard impersonations to a minimum today, OK? Just Howard impersonations to a minimum. It's got to be a photo way to get there. You're joking.
Geez, Kim would have been good, wouldn't he?
Oh, Beezy would have been a dream. Bloody hell.
Oh, back off.
Come
I know
on
that
out of here.
action
Come on.
jet.
It's his
No,
last
come
week of
on.
walks, OK? Just give
Just
him a
had
break.
to ruin it, didn't
Just
he?
give
Come
him a
on,
break,
off you
OK?
go.
Just wants... Excuse me, guys. Come on. Hey, enough of the lame props, OK? Enough of the lame props, guys. Get out of here.
You guys have changed.
Stupid undergraduates. Bloody hell. 7-3-2-1. Gents, I've just got some information to hand from the seat of Charlton. Obviously, a very safe ALP seat in the Newcastle area. The sitting member is Kelly Hoare, whose father, of course, was the Labor member before her, but she's now been forced out by her own party.
Well, they're right to do that. I mean, safe Labor seats shouldn't be doled out to ALP kids like that.
No, they should be doled out to ex-union bosses instead.
Yeah,
that's
right.
And of course, former ACTU Secretary Greg Combet has been parachuted into the seat of Charlton, and as you can see, it hasn't really worked out very well. He's actually drifted right over the entire seat there into another electorate. Thankfully, $1 million mansion has eventually stopped him there.
Will this be bad for him, the fact he doesn't live in the electorate, do you think?
Craig, have you met Greg Combet? I think the voters will be very happy that he's not living anywhere near them.
Yes.
Look, I think another key candidate in the election is, of course, Mal Brough, the Indigenous Affairs Minister who's been behind this controversial army intervention policy in the top end. And there's a funny bit of trivia about Mal Brough. He's actually the brother of Rob Brough, the former host of Family Feud.
Yeah, and they're like peas in the pod, those two boys. It makes you wonder, really. I mean, what would life have been like if they'd actually traded careers, you know, and Mal Brough, instead of Rob, ended up hosting Family Feud?
Welcome back to Family Feud. The White family is in control. Peter, we asked 100 swinging voters to name something that could win the government the next election. Peter, you said...
Interest rates, Mal.
Survey says... Well, not this time, unfortunately. There's 3 strikes, I'm afraid. So it's over to the Black family now. I'm afraid we didn't have time to ask you anything at all. But the answer we were looking for was a national emergency.
A re-elected coalition government will commit a further $5 million.
You're watching The Chaser's exclusive coverage of the election 2007, and it's our great honour at last to present this campaign's very first Mal Award.
Yes, every election, the Mal Award is our way of saying a big well done to the candidate who makes the biggest stuff-up of the week. An award, of course, named after the rugby league great Mal Meninga, who owns the distinction of having the shortest political career in Australian history.
Ah, Mal. Well, let's relive the epic journey of that career one more time.
Why are you standing? A number of reasons. I guess throughout my sporting career, I've had the urge to do community work, and I think I've really worked hard on that aspect. My 16 years in Canberra, and the thing about that is that I was, I guess, a public figure, and I was put on the podium where I was just a person out there, making sure that I was. I'm buggered it. I'm sorry.
It still gives me the chills to think what could have been.
It's extraordinary. But on to the winner, and there's 2 of them this week. I'm delighted to announce that the very first Mal of campaign 2007 goes to none other than the sister-in-law of Ivan Milat, Lisa Milat.
Yes, Lisa Milat is running on a Senate ticket in the ACT. The thing I like about Lisa Milat, of course, is the strength of her convictions. You know, I mean, most people would say, OK, I'm the sister-in-law of a serial killer. Therefore, I probably shouldn't run on a pro-guns platform. You know, I mean, that's what most people would say. But what Lisa Milat says is...
You know, to own a rifle, you shouldn't need to... you know, have to have a licence.
That's not why she's Mal-worthy, that's just why she's going to lose the election. No. The reason why she's taking home the Mal is for this extraordinary implosion on a current affair.
Euthanasia.
Euthanasia. We are definitely, we think that euthanasia is, we definitely should have that. Can you just cut this for a sec? I can't do this.
Well, that's just magic. She's practically channeled Mal Meninga himself.
It's obvious this is a woman who firmly believes in the right to die.
But just before she does, I thought I'd present her with this prestigious award. We got the Mal Award. We give it out every week on the campaign trail. Lisa, you win this week's Mal Award.
Oh, thank you very much.
There you go. Congratulations. Well done on winning the Mal Award. A truly elated winner there.
And in fact, just as a side note, if we have a look at the Senate ticket that Lisa Millat's running on, I notice she's sharing the ticket with the sisters of Martin Bryan and Jack the Ripper. So that's nice, isn't it?
And our second Mal this week goes to, well, he's been just about the most gaff-prone person in the whole campaign. And this week was certainly no exception. Into the Hall of Mal, I'm very pleased to induct the Health Minister, Tony Abbott.
Oh, and what a week he's had. To cap it all off, he takes out the Mal for getting caught out on camera, admitting that workers have lost some of their protections under the work choices legislation.
Pretty big balls up by anyone's standards, but what I particularly enjoyed was the tremendous spin he applied to, on the Channel 9 Today show to his own comments.
Certain protections, in inverted commas, are not what they were. I accept that has largely gone.
Tony?
Excellent statement.
Well, I think it was an excellent statement, and an excellent statement like that deserves an excellent prize.
Tony, you've won again.
Hang on a sec, I've just got the chaser with me. I'm a lucky man, aren't I?
Tell them you've won the Mal Award. They'll be very proud.
What is the Mal Award?
You've won the Mal Award for stuff-ups on the campaign trail, Tony. This is for getting caught on camera saying that work choices have got rid of protections, but to be fair,
I was stitched up there. Okay?
We'll give it to you for any of your stuff-ups on camera this thing.
They edited the transcript.
Well, then, I can tell you what,
Anyway,
then, we'll give it to you for...
I'm happy to revel in this award.
Look, I know you're preparing for opposition, Tony.
No.
But you wait until you've lost before you bring down the government.
I'm preparing to be health minister in the next government.
Oh, really? Do you want to say something to camera now to really put yourself in the running for the grand?
No. I've probably said more than enough already.
You think so?
Yeah, no,
Come on, there's a week left.
Gee, he took it well, didn't he? Tony took it like a champion.
Yes, I know. And when I told him off camera that I thought it was a prick, this is what he had to say.
Excellent statement.
And on that note, we'll bid you goodbye. Kerry O'Brien and Anthony Green will be in these chairs on Saturday night, but please join us again next Wednesday for our full election wrap-up.
And remember, vote early, vote often, just don't vote Millat.
To take us out tonight, we leave you with the complete soundbite montage of every instance when Kevin Rudd has uttered the phrase, working families.
Strap yourselves in. We'll see you next week.
Good night.
Working families, working families, working families, working families, working families. Australian working families, working families, working families, working families, stuff for working families, 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 all working families, working families, working families, working families across Australia, working families, working families, working family, working families, working families, bad for working families, bad for working families face the double whammy, working families, working families, working families, working families are paying the price, working families, and I think that stinks.